Hello.
Is that good?
I'm Grandmaster Ben Finegold, and you're some little kid. Even you at home who's an adult. As you all know, except probably none of you know it, and it's already finished for them. They're confused at home. There's a tournament going on now that decides who will play the World Championship. Who's the World Champion right now? Right. And they're having a tournament with 8 players, and they're going to play each other twice. It's a double round robin. Yeah. So everybody plays everybody twice. That way you get white one game and black another game. It's fair. How many rounds are there?
16.
Close. He was close. What?
15.
Closer.
13.
Close.
14.
14. Okay, so obviously if there's 8 players, then you're going to play 7 people because you don't play yourself. And 7 times 2 is 14. That's how math works. Because you play white every game and black every game against the same person. Okay, this tournament started yesterday because I said so. It's taking place in Berlin, which is a city you've never heard of, in Germany. You with some comment. Incorrect.
I've heard of it.
No. Okay. And the 8 players are people up there, and we're going to look at their games. Right now, as we speak, round 2 is going on, and if we go here, that game is going on right now. Okay, all these games are. This game was a draw, and these 3 games are going on as we speak right now. And they started at 10 a.m. our time, and it's 1:30, so they're all 3.5 hours old, and there's only 1 game done out of the 4. Obviously, there's 4 games because there's 8 players. All right. Now, they play 1 game a day, and then they take a break every 3 games or so and don't play and take a nap. And then they read my book, Sleep Like a Grandmaster. Okay, so yesterday there were 4 games. Today there's 4 games. That's 8 games. But 3 of the games are still going on. So we'll look at 5 of the games, and we'll talk about them, and then we'll see if those games finish during the lecture. Like Wesley So's getting crushed. There's 2 Americans playing, Fabiano Caruana and Wesley So. Have you heard of either one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good job. Which American's not playing that you've heard of?
The first.
You.
Ooh, good answer. The correct answer was Hikaru Nakamura. Okay. Also not playing is MVL, Anand, and Giri. Those are other good players who aren't playing. The truth hurts. Okay. Yesterday, Kramnik beat Grischuk, 2 Russian players. Although Kramnik lives in Paris, but okay. They played a King's Indian, and in this position, White played a very strange move I've never seen before.
B3.
B3, right. C4 is the most common move, or G3. Okay. And then the game got interesting. Black played C5, and White took it. Now White's up a pawn. And Black said, no, you're not. Check, and took the pawn back. Hooray. Then they developed their pieces, unlike you guys. And Black's like, why is my queen out here? And moved it back to safety. Okay, so you can see it's really boring. Now, White played knight B1. Why did he do that? Where's he going?
Knight C3.
Knight C3, and then either D5 or B5. Okay, that's what he did. Rook C2, Queen A1. It's a battery. You've never heard of it.
I did.
Yay. Okay, and A6, Rook D2. And it's the most boring game ever. The top players in the world like to play boring. Okay, then they move around and around. Then when you fall asleep, they take your piece off the board. Okay, now in this position, White played a very funny maneuver. You'll notice the knight can't go here because I said so. Instead, Kramnik wanted it to go here. That'd be a good move, right? Yeah, but that's really illegal. But that's good, see? You gotta have dreams. So he played the maneuver, knight here, knight here, knight here, knight here. Yeah, that's why he's 2,800 and you're some kid sitting in a class confused. So he played there, and then the rook attacked it. So he's like, yeah, whatever. B5 attacking on the queen side, and he did what I said he was gonna do. And then he played there. So black's basically playing like a kid. So you like black because you're kids. So normally in chess, in the middle game, you don't move your rook all around because then the guy takes your rook. So you're like, well, where'd my rook go? Now you guys do that because you don't care. But grandmasters usually don't do that. So that was a very unusual maneuver to put his rook over here. But he wants to attack the king. Rawr! Okay, knight d5. Knight e5. Complicated. See how the knight, he wants to take the bishop? So the guy says, nah, you can't take my bishop. Now, I don't like what black's doing because that rook looks really funny. He should move his rook back here. That's better. So I don't like this rook. Okay, knight e4. That's nothing to sneeze at. That attacks the rook. See how he's attacking the rook? Yeah, okay. So he moved his rook. Now he's attacking the knight. Knight c5. h4. Oh no, I'm going to lose my rook. Oh wait, I'm not playing. Yes. What's the only safe square for the rook?
F5.
Yeah, that's what he played. See, you guys are 2800 too.
Yeah.
e4. Now if I ask you what's the only safe square for the rook, you don't have an answer. Because there is no answer.
E4.
So I don't like that. Rook c5, rook g5, rook f5. Now, you were taught by somebody, probably not me, in the opening of the game, the first few moves, where you taught move your queen every move. And you weren't taught that, but you don't know why you weren't taught that. You just did what you were told. If somebody said, move your bishops and knights and castle, you were like, all right. The reason you don't move your queen in the opening is that if your queen gets attacked, you have to keep moving it. Conversely, if you move your pawns and your knights and your bishop like you're supposed to, and somebody attacks it, you could defend it. For example, let's say your bishop attacks my bishop. Then you take my bishop, I take back. That's a fair trade. But if your bishop attacks my queen, I gotta move my queen. So if I move my queen and you attack it, I must keep moving my queen every move. So don't do that. That's why you don't move your rook out like that. If a pawn attacks a rook, you gotta move your rook. You can't be like, oh, I'll just trade my rook for his pawn. But if the knight attacks your knight, or the bishop attacks your bishop, you can trade those. Okay, so he sacrificed his rook for a knight because he had to. Okay, and black took a pawn. And white put his knight back on e5, d5. Attacks the queen. Queen moved away. And the knight went to the center. It's good. Attacks the rook. Rook moved away. And the knight moves here. Now, this is a pretty tricky tactically. Okay, this position. So, let's say you play bishop to c6. Complicated. Too complicated for me.
Maybe Stockfish will know it.
He will. Well, I know you're going to take this, and then you can't take this way because you lose your knight. So you have to take with the queen. Now, do I play bishop d4 or rook c1? I can't decide. I think it's rook c1. Actually, I don't know. This seems like black is okay. So there must be a trick I don't see. That's why Stockfish is here. What don't I see? Okay, I was right. I was right. And then what was I wrong about? Wait, I was right about rook c1 too? Oh, I didn't see f4. Yeah, I didn't see that. Oh. So after here, and the queen moves to safety, f4, and the knight's pinned because of that battery that white has. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, so instead of playing bishop c6, he played knight e6, which is the computer move. And then he sacrificed the exchange back because he gets to be up a pawn. Actually, he doesn't get to be up a pawn because he's already down a pawn. Yeah. He just liked his position. Now this position to me looks like it's close to a draw because everybody has the same thing, right? Rook, knight, bishop, 5 points, king. But black has an issue. What's black's issue? What's the one thing about black's position that's sort of bad?
His king
The
stuck.
King is okay.
The rook is,
What's that?
the rook is behind the pawn.
Yeah, but the rook can move. This is a permanent thing. It's bad.
Oh, the isolated pawn.
Yeah, this pawn's isolated, and it's always going to be isolated until white takes it. Then it's not good. So if somebody's going to make a queen, it's probably white. This pawn's not easy to defend because I can go here, and I can go here, and these guys aren't. That's not good. So if you lose this pawn, I have 2 passed pawns.
Yeah.
That's not good. So he played there, stopping rook here. Wow, what a smart guy.
But knight c4.
He played rook d2. Why did he play rook d2? Nobody knows. Well, he plays rook c4, then bishop b5, right? So he wants to play rook d2, then play rook c2, attacking the bishop, then rook c5. Okay, and I was right. That's what happened. Okay, then he attacked the e pawn. Then he attacked the a pawn. That pawn's hard to defend. So he gave it away to double the pawns. Then he activated his rook. And then he threatened everything. Rawr. Okay, problem is, this passed pawn's really, really good. So that's more important. Rawr. Okay, so material's equal, but that's really, 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 really good. And black's pawns are... Pawns aren't doing anything. Okay. Defended his a pawn. Man, look at that pawn. Yeah. Now he's threatening the pawn, but more importantly, you see how the rook protects here, so I can go there. Yeah. He wants to protect here, so he can go there, right? So he's going to play knight b6, attacking the rook. And he's going to go there. Yeah. Are these pieces equipped to stop this? No.
If it's blockhouse.
Yeah, so you see the evaluation? Good for white, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so black resigned. He's like, all right, you're going to queen, lose my rook, I give up. Now, Kramnik used to be the world champion. It used to be. In fact, somebody you never heard of, Garry Kasparov, they played a match in the year 2000. They played it for the World Championship. And you know how many games Kasparov won against Kramnik? 0. And Kramnik won. Kramnik won 2 games. They had like 11 draws or something. So Kramnik became the world champion. Then Kramnik beat Topalov to become world champion again. And then Kramnik lost to Anand. Okay. And Kramnik is the 3rd highest rated player in the world, and he's 42 years old. Maybe 43. Pretty good. Also, he's really tall. He's like 6'5". Rawr. Yeah. You see pictures of Kramnik and the other grandmasters, he's like a foot taller than them. Right? And they're like, no, stop being so scary. Also, he has a really deep voice. He's like, in this position, I played here. And you're like, help. Scared. And also, he won. Grischuk used to be the 2nd highest rated player in the world. Used to be. Right. And if you want to know who's good at chess, other than asking me, you can go to this website, 2700chess.com. So there's Kramnik, because I said so, right? And then Grischuk's this guy, number 12. Right? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So who's playing? Mamedyarov, Kramnik, Aronian, So, Caruana, Ding, and Grischuk. That's who's playing in this tournament.
Ding.
Who's not playing? Carlsen's not playing because he's playing the winner. MVL's not playing. Nakamura's not playing. Giri and Anand aren't playing. Okay, that's who's not playing. And also Karjakin's playing. And if you remember last year, I said if you remember, Carlsen won the world championship again. Who did he beat? Karjakin. They played in New York. They played 6-6 in a 12-game match. Then they had playoffs, and Carlsen won the playoffs. Okay.
So he's good.
That was that game. Okay, this game, black played really funny in the opening, and he confused white. This is Karjakin, Mamedyarov. Who's Mamedyarov famous for losing to? Who did he lose to, shocking everybody who ever lived? I'll give you a hint. You want a hint? He's in this room.
You.
Right. They were like, you lost to Finegold? What? Then he's like, no problem, I'll be number 2 in the world soon. Confusing everybody, right? If you go to the internet and you type in Mamedyarov Finegold, there's a lot of websites about it. See, it says Mamedyarov Finegold. Finegold upsets Mamedyarov. And then it says, etc. Finegold wins against Mamedyarov, right? Okay, that was last year. And then Mamedyarov was like, I lost to Finegold. I better become world champion or they'll make fun of me, right? Okay, and when he lost to me, he was number 5 in the world. Now he's number 2. How did he do yesterday? He won.
That's right, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, so he's pretty good. This is the game he won.
And I'm thinking him and Kramnik are the 2 that might.
Well, he's the
I'm
highest
rooting for
rated,
those
and
two.
Kramnik's the tallest. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for those 2.
You picked the 2 highest rated players in the tournament who both won yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Smart. And we just looked at the Kramnik game. Now this is the Mamedyarov game from yesterday. Now normally in a tournament of this magnitude, the people with the black pieces don't win. Normally. In this game, are you sitting down? This will surprise the kids. He won't be surprised at all. You're going to be like, what? And you'll start crying. You ready? This game I'm going to show you. This game, 6.5 hours.
No.
Is that how long your games last? Or do your games last 6.5 minutes?
If people stall,
No, it ain't stalling, they're thinking. They're not stalling, they're like, what do I do? And you guys are like, it's my move. Rawr, my move, I gotta
what
move
do
my
I
move.
do? Get some
Yeah.
ice cream.
Okay, whenever you can't pronounce somebody's name, you know they're good. All right.
I can pronounce it.
Now, as I told you 5 minutes ago, but you forgot, the guy with the white, he's the guy who played the match for the World Championship with Carlson last year. He's pretty good. And, again, you're going to be shocked, but he already knows this. When you become a grandmaster, they like it when you're really young. They're like, wow, he was 20, he was 18, he was 15, right? They like that. And they have the records. Who's the youngest? The youngest is him, Sergey Karjakin. He became a grandmaster at 12 years and 7 months.
Okay.
Yeah, he showed you. Yeah. Okay, you can still beat his record.
No,
All right, so they played the Rui Lopez, an opening you've never heard of.
I did.
And Black played the very unusual G6.
Now you know, the Karpov Korchnoi, right? Had G6 and Knight on E7.
Knight GE7, right. Yeah.
In there, the last game.
Mm-hmm.
And when Korchnoi, I was stunned that he played it and he got beat.
Wow.
And it was the last game of the match, and he had to win it to be to be the world champion.
The truth hurts. Yeah. Okay, so C3. Why did he play C3? Do the kids know? Do the kids know anything?
Do D4.
Hey, let's play D4. Okay, A6. Normally you would go back and keep going back, but he took back. Now, most of you kids would do this without thinking because you guys specialize in not thinking. You're good at it. Right? Now, Black can play Queen G5, attacking your knight and attacking your pawn.
Good for you.
And there's Vishwa, nothing you can do about it. Okay, so he didn't do that. He played D4. That's why he played C3, as you guys pointed out. Takes. Nice center, huh?
But you know, that's an important point that you point out there, that Queen to G,
That's right.
G5.
That's important.
Because a lot of people would be looking at Queen to E2 with the idea of,
Queen
E7
E7, yep.
with the idea of F6.
Also
So
possible.
he showed you guys something very important there, that Queen to G4 move.
Now, you guys are like, that center's too good, and you start crying. And Mamedyarov like, let's destroy that center. So he wants to take the knight. Then if you take it with the queen, I'll take your pawn on D4. If you take it with the pawn, your pawns are messed up. So he's putting pressure on the center directly. Queen B3, breaking the pin, and he wants to take this pawn. See, that pawn was defended, and now it's not. If Black defends the pawn, then Knight E5, threatening the bishop and Queen F7 mate.
Oh my goodness.
Man, these guys are good, aren't they? So he took the knight. He took back with the pawn because he wants to take this. And Mamedyrov's like, whatever. You can move your queen every move. Go move your queen every move. I dare you. And he defended his pawn. And they developed their pieces. And Black's like, a pawn's a pawn. Pawn's a pawn.
Ben, right there, watch this, guys. Go back just a little bit more. If he goes queen to b7 here, is it knight to e7?
That's what I would
To
play.
C?
That's what I would play.
Yeah, you see that, guys?
See all
Get
the-
that development go. Just don't worry about your pawn dropping. Don't go rook to b8 and let him take your c6 pawn.
You like that development White has? No.
He likes the back.
No. He's like, I'm Karjakin. I develop my bishop and knight. And he's like, well, I'll take a pawn then. Okay, he takes and takes that pawn. Now I got two threats, here and here. One of them is more important than the other, right?
Yeah.
Right. So he castles, and Karjakin's like, I'm a pawn up. And they're quiet, no talking during the game, right? So White's up a pawn, but he has an isolated pawn, doubled pawns, and Black castled, and White didn't castle. Good compensation. Rook b8. He wants to take on b2. That's annoying. Right? When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's annoying.
Yeah, that threat's checkmate in 2 and the
Yeah.
knight.
So for example, takes. I'm threatening this, which you see, right? I'm threatening this. Bam! Getting checkmated over here. Everything's checkmate, right?
Wait, could you do queen d2 and then queen c7?
Yeah, you could do either one. Yeah. Okay, so Karjakin castled. And then he took the pawn, and now material's equal. Equal material. And they traded. And the reason Black's better is twofold. It was just like the last game. In the last game, the Kramnik game, Black had more pawns on the king side, but Kramnik had more pawns on the queen side, and he pushed his A pawn. This is very similar. White has more pawns on the king side, but those pawns aren't queening. But Black has a pass pawn on the queen side. Also, I have a threat. Also, my king is safer than yours. My king's got 3 pawns in front of it. Your king's got this hole in front of it. Also, my rook's on the 7th rank. Your rooks are suspicious. Right? Okay. So he played king g2, stopping queen takes pawn. Rook c2. He doesn't want White to play rook c1 and start taking the c pawn. He's like, I want to queen my c pawn. Rawr! I don't care how long it takes. It might take 6.5 hours. But if I queen it, I'm the favorite. Okay, and then that's what happened. Got a passed pawn. Check. And he defended his pawn and attacked this pawn. So material's equal, but only Black can win. White could never win. Because Black might queen this pawn, or Black might get at this king. That king's safe, and these pawns, are those pawns going to queen? No. Okay. And the game went on and on and on and on. Yeah. And now he's got a pass pawn, just like Kramnik did. Check. Queen in the center. Here comes the pawn. Here comes the pawn. And now White's like, hey, I got an idea. You take my pawn, I'll take your pawn. That's a good idea, right?
Sure.
And he's trying to go e6.
Yeah, he has another idea. I'm going to go here, and my pawn's good too. Yeah? Okay. So he says, yeah, you could put your pawn there. I'm going to make a queen. And the guy's like, sure. Now, if you go here, which kid is the smartest? What's the winning move for Black?
c4.
Queen c4 check, and then I take your pawn. So did he do that?
No.
He played king g2. Now you can't play queen c4 check. Now e6 is serious. So he stopped it. And he played h6. He's like, if you check me, I'm going to run over here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's going to hide. And he hides. And White hides. White doesn't want queen check and b2. Goes here, no checks. Uh-oh. Should you let White take this?
No,
No. So he goes back.
it's a draw. Can't do that.
Oh wait, did he win this one?
White wants to go here again. Hey, he stopped e6. And defended his pawn and attacked the f pawn.
There's another
Yeah,
angle. to
good,
do
good
it.
player. Yeah. The game never ends. G5, attacking all of White's pawns. He wants to take all of them. Okay. Check, 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 and queen here. Again, it's equal material. Black might queen, white's not going to queen. And he gives his pawn away. Now what should he do? You shouldn't give your pawn away, should you?
Yeah.
That's not a good idea.
This position, when he moved his king to f4, the engine was saying that king to g4 move was okay, -1.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, as soon as he made the move, it went zzz.
Yeah.
It went way down.
See, the computers don't get tired. They just analyze the position. If you're playing a chess game and you're 2,800 and your opponent's 2,800, you've been playing for 6 hours, you're tired. And also you played 6 hours the day before and the next day. And every move they make is perfect. And you're like, ugh, can't this guy hang his queen already? Wouldn't that be great? But they never do that. When you play people, they're like, here's all my pieces, and you're like, oh boy. When you play these guys, they don't do anything wrong. And you're like, ah, do something wrong. Come on, man. Yeah, so he took his pawn, defended, and now they played on and on and on and on and on.
The guy brings that king up.
Yeah, he's trying to get his king safe next to his pawn, where you can't check him. Okay, and here, finally he gave up, because now we're going to trade queens. How can you avoid trading queens? Well, you can get checkmated, that'll do it. If you go here, you lose your queen. You see what I'm saying? What's that called? A skewer, yeah. And the best thing you can do, and you probably can't even do that, you probably just get mated. Yeah, you just get mated. Taking the queen wins, but mate's even better, right?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So now if I turn the engine on, it's going to give some insane number, right? It says force checkmate, right?
In 12.
So the question is, when was it not like 2 winning, just a little winning?
Like I said, here, you see the 1-8-2, right? A little bit, the king to g4, when he went f4 to g4.
F4 to G4, later or before?
No, before. No, that's,
After this?
yeah. So we're going to see there. Okay, now we give the check.
Ah!
See, that's to where it looks a little crazy. Watch it, it says,
Yeah, so that's crazy, this move, right?
it gives that king to g4, but after that, then the computer gives up too. Once it
Yeah.
makes the move, the computer realizes it's no good.
Yeah, the truth hurts.
But the grandmaster's white made the move that looked the best, and the computer says that's an okay move, right? But then next thing
Yeah.
it just goes, oh, I give up.
So that game took forever. Yeah, and then he won. Hooray! Okay, now this game was the craziest game, and they started repeating moves and drew. Okay, they played all this theory. Okay, and this is the best player in Armenia
What?
versus the best player in China.
Oh, now what? Did they have 2 groups playing?
No,
Because I didn't see Lev,
no, it's not my fault. There's 8 players.
and Lev's in there.
Lev and Ding Liren.
Well, how come I'm not rooting for Lev?
Well, I don't know. You should root for Lev.
I like
I'm rooting
Lev.
for Wesley, but it's not doing too good. Okay, this is all theory. Usually they play C5 or E5, but Ding played B6. Now, Aronian must have thought he was you guys. H4.
For the tricks.
What, he thought he was you? So he's like, you moving your queen here, I'm gonna go win your queen. And then Ding's like, no talking. Okay. So bishop out, he's like, I'm gonna win your queen. He's like, no, you're not. He's like, yes, I am. And he's like, no, you're not. And now, Ding's threatening the pawn and this pawn.
So he's doing
Okay, so king F1, defending this pawn, and now this isn't check anymore. So he developed a piece, and he's like, I'm gonna win your queen. I'm gonna go get that queen. I'm gonna keep
See,
attacking him.
Okay.
F6,
Good, they made it.
he wants to castle, but it's illegal. You see why it's illegal?
Bishop.
So now it's not illegal. He's like, I'm gonna get that queen. He's like, nah, I'm gonna castle. Rar, A4, trapping the queen. Wow, look at this. What if he goes here next move? Man. If he wins the queen, you know what he'll say? He'll say, ding, 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 ding. His name's Ding. Okay. So he played E5, attacking in the center. C5. Oh, man. Now he's really getting that queen, right?
Ding, ding, ding.
Man, now he's coming to get him. Bishop takes c5, sacrificing a piece. If you take the piece, I take that. Right? Okay, so he plays rook b5, obviously. Looks bad for Ding, doesn't it? Queen a6. Now, if the rook moved, attacking the queen, I'll just take your bishop. Right? If you take my bishop, I'll take your bishop, rook takes d3. Man, how'd that queen get there? Is that legal? Rook h3. He defends his bishop, because I said so. See how it's defended? Now if it's my move, I go here.
Yeah.
Then you cry like a grandmaster.
But we're not grandmasters.
Bishop takes d4, sacking a piece. Rawr. He's like, well, you move your rook every move, you move your other rook every move, you don't castle, I'm going to sack a piece and crush you. And this is super complicated. The players were confused. Bishop back to e2 instead of taking the bishop. Rook d6. Rook attacking the queen. See how it attacks the queen? Now they repeated. Only move, right? Attack the queen. Only move, attack the queen. You see what I'm saying? And then they agreed to a draw.
Oh.
Repeating. He was afraid to take the piece because white's king is suspicious. Black has a million pawns. The bishop's pinned. This pawn's isolated. So he got scared and they just repeated moves. And people were like, what? The computer thought white's position was great because black's queen was all silly, but he couldn't figure out how to win. Okay. Yesterday, Wesley lost to Fabi. Those are the two American players. Fabiano Caruana and Wesley So. Okay, and they played a Catalan, which actually Fabi has black in a Catalan today. And this is all normal, normal, normal. And he attacked the bishop and he moved it away. Some grandmasters, when they don't want to play, just want to draw, they do this. Isn't that silly? That's happened before. Okay. B5, confusing the children. And the reason is, if you keep taking, I have a skewer.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he didn't do that. He's like, all right, c5, bam. b4, now his bishop can get out. a4. He plays rook e1, why do you do that? Wants to play e4. e5 first, complicated. Knight takes, knight here, attacking both pawns. So black sacrificed a pawn, but he's going to win one of them. And he does. Why do you play knight g5? What's he threatening?
Bishop,
Queen h7.
Right. Did he let him do that? Or he said, I'm 2800, I'm going to stop that.
2800.
How did he stop it?
G6 or something.
G6. So you're 2800 too. Bishop f4. Queen b6, threatening f2. e4, defending f2 by discovery. See what I'm saying? b3. He's like, hey, move your queen off of f2. That way I can win f2. And the guy's like, nah, I'll keep it on f2. He's like, no, move your queen off of f2. Nah, I'll keep it on f2. Takes. e6, rawr. Check, rawr. Takes. Now, we looked at this the first few games, and this is a time when it's different. Because sometimes chess is different. The previous games, one side had more pawns on the king's side, and they were never going to get a queen. The other side had more pawns on the queen's side, and they were getting a queen. And that's actually the case here, except here it's the opposite. Here, black's not getting a queen, even though that's pretty close. But since white has more pawns than black on the king's side, white's king is a lot safer. All these pieces on the king's side, and all these pieces on the queen's side. So that king needs some pawns in front of it, but it has less pawns than white's. So Fabiano Caruana decided to attack the king. Okay, knight d6. Roar.
Chicken balls.
Queen e2. He's like, I'm going to come get you. I got all my pieces over here. check. Queen f3, threatening queen takes d5 check, winning. Queen a5 attacking the rook. Rook e7. Fabiano's like, I got a lot of pieces here near your king. You put your pieces over there. Okay? And after rook e7, surprising the children, Black gave up. Black's like, I have to stop this, so I have to keep my queen here. And his bishop's going to move away, and I have to stop that. And I don't know how to stop that.
You don't?
I don't know either. If I go here, threatening queen f7 check, I don't think you can stop that, but you better stop that. Right? So he did stop it, he gave up. Okay, and turn the engine on, it says roar. Right? Look at that, look at those numbers.
Where is that?
Wow, it's equal material, and it says white's up 12, 56, 13. Yeah. So Black's completely crushed because of his silly king. There's all these pieces near his king, and this king's really safe. Yeah. Okay, that was yesterday's games. Now we have today's games. This game was really boring. It was Mamedyarov Aronian. They traded all the pieces off and said, where'd the pieces go? Then they said, okay, we'll agree to a draw. There's no pieces. Okay, they played Nimzo Indian. And then they traded everything. Yay, I trade you. You trade me. We trade all the pieces off. Yeah. Boring. Everything traded. And then they did this thing they did yesterday. Aronian and Ding. Remember the rook and the queen? I showed you that. Rook b5, queen a6, rook b1, queen a5. They did it again. Aronian's like, let's do it again. Right? And what can white do about it? After here, there's only one square for the queen, right? After here, there's only one square for the queen. Well, he could go here, but then I guess his queen's trapped, right? Yeah? Yeah. So they just did this and drew. Yeah. Draw. That was played about 3 hours ago. That was just played. Now the other three games are still going on, except I'm guessing Wesley So lost while we were having a class. Okay. Wesley So decided to get checkmated. A bad decision. They played the Rui Lopez. You've never heard of that. And it was really boring until it wasn't. Okay. Now here, Black played rook e8. See? He wants to play bishop f8. And then he's played g6 probably. And then White's like, whoa, look at this. So he played knight g5. Yay. And Black resigned. No. What did Black do about that? What do you do?
Rook f8.
Rook f8. Yeah.
Offer the draw.
Rook e1. And now Black played badly in my opinion. Black went roar. Instead of playing boring and slow and the game would never end, he played d5 and opened it up. Says, let's open it up. Let's make it interesting.
That's good.
Okay? And White's like, okay, let's open it up. Okay, and now White decided checkmating Black was a good idea. So he played rook g4. And this is the same guy, this guy with White. He's the same guy who lost the first round moving his rook all around. Remember that guy? The same guy.
He hasn't learned this.
Now, he wants to play bishop h6. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he stopped that. He said, I got another rook for you. I'm going to go here. Roar. And the guy's like, I don't care about that. Now, the guy made a great move. It was the best move according to the computer. He made 2 batteries with 1, but more importantly, he somehow got his queen in the attack. Very good move.
Queen c1.
That's right, queen c1. That's the best move. Now, I'm going to hurt you. If it's my move, I play bishop h6. You can't take it, queen h6 mate. And then I gotta go here too, just in case. And if your king tries to run away, I got that just in case. And that.
So Wesley So.
Yeah, and the computer says white's winning. It says white has this big attack. So he took a pawn. He took a knight. And now, he didn't play taking the knight, he played here. If he takes the knight, then I go here.
And then
Then he loses.
you read a book.
Or I could go here. Or I could go here. Forking your queen and bishop and your F pawn. Yeah. So after bishop takes d4, let's see what the best move is. It says this wins the game. Because I'm going to checkmate you. Here's a funny variation. Takes, queen h6. Uh-oh. Now that's an attack. You see how the bishop is pinning your f-pawn? So every move is mate for white. So the computer plays silly. The computer just gives all its pieces away.
Does he still lose after that?
Oh yeah. But this way you last the longest, right? All right, and then there's no more pieces to give away. Yeah, that's the computer line. Okay, so Wesley saw that, and instead of getting mated, he played here, but now he's down a piece. He lost that knight on d4. Okay, and then when we started class, this was the position, and the computer says white's winning. Let's see what happened. What's happening? I need an adult. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Keep going back. They actually played a lot of moves since the class started. Okay. So after rook c7, he played queen d4. Okay. And then bishop e3, they played bishop e3. Now the queen's attacked, the rook's attacked, and the bishop's attacked. So he took this, sacrificing his queen, so he could play rook takes g2 check. And the guy's like, I don't want your queen. Now I'm threatening your queen and your bishop. So that was the right move. Okay. Then he defended his bishop and threatened checkmate. Pretty good, huh? And white played f3. Now, I'm attacking your queen, and I'm attacking your bishop. How do you move your queen and stay on your bishop? The answer is, you don't. Yeah, because you can't. So he played for tricks. He played here, and then he took this. And he said, well, if you take my bishop, I'll play queen e1 check and perpetual check.
Oh.
Pretty sneaky. Do you think white allowed that? I don't think so. White's like, hey, I have two bishops, you have one bishop. Two bishops is more than one bishop, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, you can't do that. So he played queen f1, and then they just kept playing, but white's up a piece. And white's up a piece. So they're still playing, but black's just not giving up. So Wesley's gonna lose. This is the current position. Computer says plus 10 for white,
Oh my God.
because he's up a piece. Man, he's crushing him. Okay. Then that's that game. We saw Mamedyarov and Aronian move their queen back and forth.
Oh.
This is Liren, Fabiano, Caruana. Black sacrificed a rook for a bishop, and he has an attack. The computer says it's equal. It says it's going to be a draw. See that queen and bishop? That's pretty nice, isn't it? Pretty nice battery. Okay. And then the last game is Kramnik and Karjakin. They played a really boring game where they traded queens really early. And they played this end game. So white's down a pawn, but look at that center. Rawr. Look at that silly king and rook, right? So the computer says it's equal. It says black's up a pawn, but white has all this good play, so it should be a draw, because these rooks aren't very good. Okay, and Kramnik won yesterday, and Karjakin lost yesterday. And Kramnik used to be the world champion, and Karjakin played for the world championship last year. This tournament's pretty strong, right? Yeah. And this game started at 10 o'clock. What time is it now?
2:17.
2:17. So this game's been going, these games, there's 3 games left.
Oh, wait, it's 2?
What? 2:17. Yeah, because it's an hour later. It says 1:17 on your watch, right? Yeah. So you at home don't know it's daylight savings time today. However, it's not daylight savings time in Europe, and they're playing in Europe. So yesterday, our time, it was 9 a.m. when they started. Now it's 10 a.m. when they started, because we changed the time and they didn't. Is it 10 a.m. there when they started? No, it's like 3 in the afternoon. See, it's later in Europe. Yeah. You know how the clocks work? Right. Now, you guys have heard of China, right?
Yeah.
You heard of it. This will surprise you. Maybe not you, although maybe. China's really big. It's like the U.S. It's huge. I don't mean people, I mean in land. In land. It has a lot of land, right? Pay attention. A lot of land, right? Now, we have a lot of land in the U.S. We have 4 time zones in the normal U.S. We're in the eastern here. If you go to Texas, for example, they're in the central. If you go to California, they're on the Pacific. And then between California and Texas, that's mountain time. There's 4 time zones. You understand?
Wait, I know, but like, why did they call over here Eastern and not?
Well, hold on. I'm going to tell you in a second what I was telling you, then we'll answer your question. China, which is just as big, they have 1 time zone. Wherever you are in China, it's the same time anywhere else in China. Now that's weird, because if you were as far east as possible in China, and somebody was as far west as possible, it might be like daytime one place and nighttime the other, but at the same time. Like here, when it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here, it's 1 o'clock in California. So when it's dark here at 7 o'clock, they're sunshine. Imagine if it was the same time. That'd be weird. Dark at 4 o'clock. All right, now your question is what?
So why do they call over here Western and not Atlantic, but they call over there Pacific and, over here Eastern but not Atlantic, and they call Pacific over there but not Western?
Oh, you want this to be Atlantic and that to be Pacific, because those are the oceans. Nice.
But like, why do...
Yeah.
Over here's Eastern.
Good question.
Why do...
So it should be Eastern and Western, or Atlantic and Pacific, not Eastern and Pacific. Yeah, that guy's right. Yeah, he's the smartest guy in his chair. Yeah. Okay, so he retreated his bishop, very suspicious, and the computer says equal. And these games will never end. Hey, Grischuk beat Wesley So. Remember I said Wesley's plus 10 for white? Yeah.
He resigned.
Yeah, it says plus 10. Notice white's up a bishop, and white's gonna checkmate him and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Why does it say
Very
white is
embarrassing.
winning?
What?
It says white is winning.
Right, so black gave up. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, white's winning. White did win. So Wesley has 0 out of 2, and he's 2,800. Tough tournament, right? He lost both of his games. He learned how to cry like a grandmaster. But there's 14 games. He's going to make a comeback.
Where is he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, this website I showed you, they update it every minute. So the ratings will change. Okay? Because the game ended. So Wesley So, he's number 7 in the world. Yesterday, at 8 in the morning, he was number 4 in the world.
Oh.
But the truth hurts, he keeps losing. Right? So he's going down 3 spots. Caruana won yesterday, so he went above him in rating. You see what I'm saying?
Oh wait, no.
Yeah. Wesley So lost 10 rating points in 2 days. He was 2798, now he's 2788. The truth hurts, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, man, it's tough. Harsh.
Wait, was this like an invitation thing?
The tournament where they're playing? The tournament they're playing, you got in by... Karjakin got in because he played the World Championship last year. 2 players got in by their rating. And then some players got in because they won the World Cup. There's some big tournament. And then one guy gets in because the organizer said so. Like, you play. That was Kramnik. They said, Kramnik, you play. He's like, all right. Okay, and then Karjakin got in because he played for World Championship last year. And then Caruana got in because his rating's high, Caruana and So. And then the other guys got in because they won the World Cup and some other tournaments. Yeah. So a lot of people think MVL should be playing. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. Some people think Anand should be playing. But the truth hurts. Sometimes you play, sometimes you don't. Yeah. Okay. And then these two games are never going to end, even though they've been playing for 5.5 hours. The computer says it's equal. Nobody has the advantage. Okay? And then there's this game. Also, it says equal. Nobody has the advantage. And they've been playing for hours and hours and hours. And the computer's like, nope, nobody's better.
Oh,
So
wait.
probably draw. You.
In these tournaments, since they have so much time, do they get to eat like snacks and stuff?
Yeah, they usually have food and drinks for the players. You shouldn't eat at the board, but you can go there and eat like a grandmaster. You don't want to eat too much. You'd be like, oh, I don't want to play chess. I'm full. So you don't want to do that. That's crazy talk. You can't be digesting your food while you're thinking, right? Now, I told you guys something. We thought I was lying. So I'll prove that I'm not lying too much, right? Like lying a little, but not too much. Yeah. He's the tallest.
Oh yeah.
Right? You can't really tell how tall he is because I need him standing next to other people. Well, this guy's like a world famous athlete, so that's not fair. There we go. Now we're talking. There's Aronian and there's Kramnik. He wins, right? He's and then they're sitting. You can see who's taller, right? Yeah, he's the tallest. He really is the tallest too. He's huge. It's hard to tell in a picture, but well, you can tell in that picture. Yeah, and then here's him and some dwarves. No, those are other adults. But you see how he's taller? Yeah, he's the tallest, so he wins. Then I guess that's his wife, and then he's taller than his wife. That guy was the world chess champion. Who is it? I'll give you a hint because you have no idea. He lost to Bobby Fischer.
Lasker?
Lasker died 50 years before Fischer was born. Although not really. Lasker died like right around when Fischer was born. Yeah, Lasker was world champion in like 1890. And Fischer was born in 1943. Anyway, the correct answer is Boris Spassky. Spassky Fischer.
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, I heard that name. Yeah. And then he's still taller than everybody. Yeah. See, I told you. He's like, you're so short, I'm laughing. Yeah. He like can't even believe it.
How about that athlete guy?
Yeah, well, I don't know who that is. When he's standing, he's really tall. Yeah. See, there's him and Nakamura. You can see who's taller. Not Nakamura. Yeah, he's 6'5", Kramnik. That's huge. Okay, there's him and Kasparov. Now you see who's taller, right? I played tennis with Kramnik before you were born in 1993. Me and Judith Polgar versus Kramnik and Gelfand. And then Kramnik served and hit Gelfand in the back of the head. Yeah. And then Gelfand stood back after that. Yeah. You agree? What? He's not agreeing. Yeah. That's good timing. We're ending the class. But we're talking about how tall Kramnik is. That's important. Yeah. And then in 2000, Kramnik played a match with Kasparov, and Kasparov didn't win any games. So Kramnik must be good, right?
Wait, wasn't it like 2 wins and...
Yeah, 2 wins and 1,000,000 draws. Yeah. And then there's him. Who's that guy he's playing? Who's that?
Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah. And then they're like, who has thicker glasses? Yeah. That's nothing to sneeze at. Yeah. And so forth. And this game never ends, just like your games. Yeah. So that's the candidates. It's a 14-round tournament, because I said so, right? And they have like 3 or 4 rest days. The tournament never ends. It starts the 10th, which is yesterday, and it ends on the 28th.
Do they like sleep all day?
What? I don't know. I'm not them.
Rest days?
On the rest day, maybe they go sightseeing. Like, ooh, Berlin, interesting. I don't know. They could study, prepare for the next game. You're playing that guy tomorrow. Let's study for hours. Yeah, true. I'm serious. Yeah.
I won't sleep for hours.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't beat that. And these games will probably be a draw because the computer says all draws, right? Yeah. All right. Class dismissed. Good job.